this show just keeps getting better and better.
NERDSoul.
Lay Ill Kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people, today? Oh yeah, coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right, That Is Right, on screen for a show that I didn't even think could get to this level, but we're getting a lot of heart, we're getting a lot of interpersonal moments, and we're getting at the deep parts of someone's character in a little show called Titans. And let's just go on and jump into the deep end with Dick Grayson, Robin. We're seeing his past and his interaction with his caretaker at the time was hurting me to watch it, because you see this guy who has this ward, this youth, this young kid that he's supposed to be a steward over. You know, his parents has died and he's looking at him and he's, of course they care about each other. He loves this kid. But he knows, like, yo, Bruce Wayne, this dude's rich. Like, there's no way I can provide the life for you that this guy could. And no matter how much I love you enough to know that what I have to give you, this guy, the access, the resources, you will have a much better life. At least, in general, what we didn't know, he didn't know he was Batman, but when you think about those things, if you have children or a little brother or a little sister or even yourself, you think, if I was to look at my younger self and say, yes, go with this person, your parents are gone, but this person, they care and they want to take care of you, and they want to be, able to shepherd you into your next stage of life and give you the space, the resources, the money, the care you need. You'll have the best this, the best that. And that hurts a lot to see someone having to say, you know what, no matter how much I love you, I think this person, because of what they have, is the best option for you. And that was just heartbreaking for me, but we'll slide that to the side. We'll get back to him and all that later. But Jason Todd, who we find out is the Robin that came and saved him, we have a nice back and forth about, the new, the old being replaced, how Dick Grayson feels about it. And he doesn't really say as much as it's shown in his body posture, on his face. And this is just some great acting where you see someone who's very uncomfortable, even though they've been like, I'm not down with Batman. I don't want to be around. I'm not his little flunky no more. I'm not a sidekick. I'm my own man. But you still get this uncomfortable situation where you see him trying to deal with, where does he go now? Like, it's kind of one of those things where you feel like, I'm able to throw you away, but now I feel so much different when I realize that you've thrown me away, sort of. It's not like Bruce Wayne doesn't care about him, but, changing the locks and, all that stuff, it just, it's weird when you see that happen to you when you thought that you were the one that was rejecting that way. And just to see him deal with that, struggle with that, is something that's, it got to the meat of the character. And I really enjoyed Dick Grayson's performance. Not Dick Grayson's performance, but the performance through Dick Grayson, and just how they displayed how he dealt with what he was going through. Real quick before the jump, just dragging Omelet Man around the floor was funny to me. Even when Jason Todd walked over him, like it was a nice way to cut between the hurt that Dick Grayson was feeling, on top of the information of learning that all of his friends from the circus days, from the, I believe, Haley Circus, were being killed one by one. But them dragging him around, that was kind of funny. Now, we got tons of stuff after the break to get into in just a moment. We got Starfire, we got Raven and Garfield a little bit, but we get a nice just crescendo of just a little bit, and you know what I'm talking about. We'll get there in a second, but first, KURO Brand is going to help us pay them bills. Oh, yeah, check the link below. Hat, shirts, hoodies, all that jazz. And once you find something you like, of course, cop it. Now, you know, we get to the, you know, we got the safe house and all that, and change the locks, everything, yep, in there. When we have Raven, Garfield, we got Starfire come through, I like the conversation between Starfire and Robin about, you know, are you sure this is something that you want to let go? I thought you wanted to be something different. And I think this is going to be his first steps, of course, into becoming Nightwing. But, you know, just her asking those questions that maybe he never really wanted to ask because it was just better to never have it, you know, never have it said. So I love that. But it's so beautiful to see the Bat family in this light. You know, usually we see it on TV, I mean, in animated form, but in live action, it's just nice to see it framed a different way because, you know, each adaptation has its own little, you know, twist to it. So just seeing it framed this way is much different, especially seeing how brutal Jason Todd gets, of course, a little bit later. But the investigation into these people that are killing off all of Robin's friends and seeing these flashbacks do a great job of kind of creating this roadmap of how the villain and how Robin both got here, how they kind of sort of set off on a path to meet each other, even indirectly. And another thing I would like to say about the show is that the flashbacks have been pretty solid. They've been cut seamlessly and they provide context. They're not flashbacks that really mean nothing. And there's been other shows that do flashbacks that mean nothing. We ain't gonna go there. But this one, the flashbacks have been very, very poignant and very, you know, on time as far as like leading us through what we're learning, what the characters are learning. So big props to that. But all that aside, you know, Dick Grayson meets old boy. They get together, they talk, they kind of have a resurgence of their friendship. And it's nice to see Robin have someone that he can connect with from his old life. Because even after everything is gone and over, they're at his house and you can see he doesn't have the flyest spot. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he's saying, you know, what I have here is definitely nothing compared to Bruce Wayne. But I think you have this weird balance between, you know, money and access and, you know, and love and care, you know. But now let's talk about your boy Jason Todd. Yeah, he crazy. And it's weird because, you know, we've seen it in comic book form, we've seen it in animated form, but seeing it in live action just throws a different look at it where you're looking at this kid like he's an accident waiting to happen. Like, you know, like there's no way Bruce Wayne does not see that this kid is definitely trouble. Now, of course, depending on the interpretation that you've seen or the adaptation you've seen, usually Batman is trying to curtail, you know, Jason Todd's anger and focus it into something that's good. But we see here, Jason Todd, especially when he's beating up these police officers, essentially just sees his Robin costume as a free pass to do whatever he wants. You have someone who's extremely violent, who's crazy, who's off their rocker and should probably be institutionalized, but wants to be called hero and wants to act as a hero and is definitely doing this whole thing like, well, you know, Batman's not here, so I do what I want. So guys, with all that said, with all that craziness, that baggage wrapped up in Jason Todd with some crazy ill fighting skills, no doubt. But how long do you think it'll be before, you know, Nightwing has to teach Jason Todd a lesson of sorts? So guys, holla at me. I'm gonna holla at you down in them comments. Let's talk about Titans, man. I'm enjoying it. I think Jason Todd is a ticking time bomb if we've ever had one in this show. And let me know what you think Omlin Man is going to say to Raven that he can't say to anyone else. Maybe there's a code word or something to activate her, who knows? But anyway, I'm a bounce. And before I bounce, I'm going to tell you guys to hit up ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right. Check me out right there. All my videos from the oldest, newest, latest, greatest, all that. Then hit up shop.thatnerdsoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt, player. Don't forget to get one for them playettes. Then come back here, like, comment, subscribe, and share that Nerd Soul. That's right. There's no better way that I can show people that I like what you are watching. So, LA, what up? VA, what up? RVA, you got my heart. And please be good to yourselves. Please be good to each other. And remember, the best way to keep tabs on someone, put a tracker in their arm. Peace.